Welcome to this general orientation session for aspiring members of our team at the Plenipotent Company. The essence of this session is to give you a picture of what to expect if you eventually make it through to the end of the selection process. And we have a unique recruitment process that puts the power in your hands, and we are going to see that as we proceed through this session. So we're not the ones that will decide whether we're going to pick you. You are the one that will decide whether you are going to pick yourself. Do you understand? And I will show you what that means. It's like the story of Gideon's army. If you are not familiar with that, you can just Google Gideon's army or Gideon's army of 300. You can Google it. You will find that story. Now, Gideon had like 32,000 people that applied to join his army, and he started taking them through series of tests, and God told him, okay, the people that act in this certain way, those are the ones that will go with you. So at the end of the day, he started by saying that, oh, if you are afraid, you think you can die in battle, go home. Okay, so those ones went home, and took them through a series of assessments and tests, and at the end of the day, only 300 out of 32,000, that is less than 1%, okay, were the ones that chose themselves, that presented themselves as suitable for the job. So in the same way, you are the one that will choose yourself and present yourself as suitable for the job or for the role that you applied for based on how you go through the process. And one of the things that you should have seen by now is that at the Plenipotent Company, we don't use people to build our company. We use our company to build people, which is why we're even taking you through this kind of process in the first place. Most organizations don't engage with candidates this way in the recruitment process. We've given you courses, we've given you other resources, we're engaging with you this way. It shows our commitment to investing in your personal and professional development. However, it is a partnership. It's not a one-way thing, okay? It's a capacity development partnership between the company and candidates. So as much as the company is investing a lot into the process, we also expect you to express commitment and also invest a little, at least invest a little in the process, okay, to show your commitment and your readiness to maximize the experience. And we're going to explain the details of that as we proceed. But I believe that the best way to show you what you can expect and what this opportunity means for you is to let you hear from someone who has gone through the process before you. And you will find that everybody that is going to work with us or that is going to join our core team, okay, will come in first as an intern. Regardless of the role you applied for, you start as an intern. That gives us the opportunity to train you, because most people just exaggerate, or they have an exaggerated opinion of what they can do, especially if you are an entry-level person, you just finished school. The truth of the matter is you don't have much value to add. Most people don't like to hear that, but it's the truth, okay, and we have checked it over and over again. So as an entry-level person, you should approach the job with the mindset of coming to learn. Okay, so you are actually working to learn primarily, and the company or the employer is investing a lot in you, much more than you are able to invest or able to contribute at the time. So if you are the kind of person that you feel like, oh, you've already achieved a lot, you know a lot, okay, you can add a lot of value, and you have evidence to show for it, then go for the kind of roles, okay, where you are going to be able to add value in that way. But if you are someone that you are not sure, you probably have even applied to a lot of places and you've been rejected, but you know that you are willing to learn, you are ready to learn, you are ready to grow if you are given the opportunity, and you are also ready to invest in the process. You are not expecting the company to do everything for you. You are only expecting the right kind of opportunity, and then you also play your part to maximize the opportunity. If you are that kind of person, then this is an excellent opportunity for you. Okay, so I will let you hear from someone who has gone through the process before you, and to give you a picture of what it looks like and what you can achieve through it. Because at the end of the day, what we are doing is that we are using our company to build people. We're not using people to build our company. So you are not just joining our team to work for us. No, you are not going to be working for us. You are going to be working with us, okay, to build your own career. So you are working with us and working for yourself, actually. It's just like a driver, for example. You can be a driver, just for example, you can be a driver and you are employed by a company. The company is paying you salary. You have to, come to work at a particular time. They send you on errands, and all of that. Okay, and the company like kind of literally controls your time, and maybe even to a large extent controls your life. And that is what actually happens with the regular employer-employee relationship. The employers practically control your life. Okay, they determine when you can go on leave. They determine when you have to resume to work and go back. Okay, you go through traffic in many cases, a lot of issues like that. Okay, but we have created a system that puts the power in your hands, but then you also have to be committed to the process. It's a partnership. Now compare that company driver to a Bolt driver or Uber driver. Now, if you are a Bolt driver or a Uber driver, you are still a driver, but you have control, you have flexibility, you determine when you want to work, and you can make as much money as you are willing to work for. Nobody is setting your salaries for you. Do you understand? That's the kind of system that we run. So we take you through training, we give you a lot of resources, you have the full support of the company, and then you become a seasoned professional in the role that you have applied for. And for some people, in the process of going through the training, going through the internship, they discover that I'm actually better at certain areas, and you can change. Maybe you applied for a web development role, for example, and you found that, okay, you are interested in something else. Maybe you do well at, customer service, for example, or, you just find something else, or you are able to now bring a range of skills based on what you have learned through the process. You are able to bring a range of skills together to create a unique niche for yourself. That's fine. Do you understand? So all of those are some of the things that you are going to experience as you go through the process. So now I will introduce you to Tochukwu Nwachukwu, who participated in the program in the past, and he maximized the experience. So the results that you are going to get will depend on how well you maximize the experience. So he will share his story with you, tell you how he started, what he has done since then, and after that I'll just make a few comments and we'll discuss the next steps and conclude the session. The next voice you'll be hearing now is the voice of Tochukwu Nwachukwu, or Tochi for short. Okay, he prefers to call himself Tochi now. Okay, so let's hear from him.
It's been a while, and I'm so honored to be here today to speak to the team and hopefully inspire them. So today I'll be talking on my experience in the Plenipotent Company and what I learned and how it shaped the my current career. So what I'll be talking on is small actions, big impact, and how to achieve rapid career growth by being diligent in little things. So introduction, I'm Tochukwu Nwachukwu, Tochukwu. I think when 2021, I discovered Tochi was easier for lots of people to call. So I just started using it as my first name. So currently I'm the co-founder of School.io, a senior cloud architect at Talent of Africa, and also a software developer at Illuminem. Forget all these big things. It's the story that you will see how it all started. So this is the summary of what I'm about to say. He who is faithful in a very little thing is also faithful in much. And he who is unrighteous in a very little thing is also unrighteous in much. It's gotten from the Holy Bible. That should be in Luke. I couldn't find a more apt quotation to summarize the topic. So where it all began, that's September 2019, graduated from University of Nigeria, Nsukka, more confused than I looked. Forget I was smiling. I did not even know what was going to happen. The oil industries were sacking people who were looking for what to do. And I mean, there was really nothing I could think of. I had to go back to Port Harcourt, where I grew up, to try to figure out what I would do with myself. Then it came, I think I applied for this either 2020, 2019 or so. And by 2020, early 2020, I got the acceptance into the virtual internship program. And I had 2 assessments to complete. One, I should write my obituary and significant professional accomplishments. I mean, those were, to me at that time, those were really weird. I've never ever thought about myself writing my obituary. But all the same, I did it and I got in. And I would like to say it was the start of everything that I'm about to explain and narrate in the course of this session. So when I got in, my first task was this. That time we used Slack. We had Williams, we had Faith, we had Remy, we had Deborah, and Abdullah. I don't know if I knew him really well at that time. Yeah. So sorry, Williams was my supervisor at that time. So the first task was to transcribe I think for quantum leap series. I think so. So we had lots of audio files that we asked to transcribe. I was like, wow. I didn't even know what to transcribe was at first. Remember, I had just finished mechanical engineering, 5 years, coming out. I didn't even know what to do with myself. And now saying I should transcribe audio file. I said, no problem. I started typing. You put earpiece, listen to it, you type. My God, it was something else. I now started looking for online tools on how to make the job easier because my main aim was, this is my first task. I cannot shy away from it. I cannot run from it. And I have to do this. This was March 19th. I entered February. And between that time, I think we had an orientation session where we asked to go through some courses and all that. So this was the time I was having my first task. So by the special grace of God, I was able to submit my transcription. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it was done. Done, done for me at that time was better than perfect. So, however, I knew that if I continue doing transcription for a long time, I may grow old very fast. So I was looking for a way out, and I saw a new task, which was a promotional graphic for the Business Mastery Club titled Answers for Your Business. So I now said, okay, this is a lot easier than transcription. And since I'm trying to learn graphics really well, let me volunteer to do this task. But unfortunately, it's not only me that didn't like transcription. Lots of other people didn't like it. So even if this task was heavily contested. So we had Deborah, Aisha, I think Abdullah too wanted to do this task. So we were all, it was like a competition to see who would be able to do it. So I did the task, and it turns out my own was really good. So it was chosen as was pushed forward as the promotional graphic. I would have shown the final output, but I lost my other laptop, so that had the final output. It really pained me that I couldn't find it. But that all the same, I found my forte, which was design. So over the course of my internship, I worked on several designs for the Business Mastery Club, for books. This was one I did for Stay Safe and Stay Ready. This was one I did for Firstborn Prayer Watch um, by Wunola Aditayo. I think I also designed for Yes to 30. I did the content calendar. And most of the tasks assigned to me were now design tasks, and I was doing it, getting feedback. I can remember one of the feedbacks was like, something I put in this book. I also edited the book too. She said that she didn't like the fingernails on the picture I used. I'm like, wow, that level of attention to detail is really interesting. And I never even noticed that the fingernails had any issue because it was an image I got from the internet. So this honed my skills, and I was getting quite good at design. However, over time, I wanted a newer challenge. So this project came along, Star Spark project, and that was my first web development task. So there was the design, and it was put in the team group who wants to take it up, and I decided to take it up. They had the logo already done, they had some design assets, they needed a website. So I had to go and design the website first on Photoshop to the best of my ability,
Bluetooth mode.
then now start building the website. Okay. So, and this was the project that got me introduced to tech, and I was done with it. So this was the final output at that time, and it was with WordPress I designed the website. So I had no real experience, production experience with WordPress before. Mr. Philip taught us everything. He had some courses on Teachable that time. We had access to the courses and learning resources for free, and I was able to use it to design this. I didn't even know how the WordPress database looked like that comes as a .sql file, talk less of how to load it. So I was able to put everything together and not just design a file using templates. This was like no templates, just Elementor and the initial Photoshop UI I saw earlier. So this was how my tech journey really started. So I was into digital technology in the Plenipotent Company through expressing it through graphics, ebook publishing, but I had not done a full-blown like web dev project. So this was the first one. And remember this because this is really important in the story I would tell. Okay, so I now saw that I actually liked this and I zoned in down on it, gave it my best, started researching more, started volunteering for more tasks, started reading more. I think I enrolled in a boot camp at some point to teach me more of how to do this. And what were the results? I was also able to work on the creator project. I mean, I enjoyed this project so much that it had to enter my Behance design. So because I knew design and web dev, the project was like a full suite. You start from designing of logo to developing the website. And this was the logo I came up with for the entire project. And usually, I think to be able to show different options. So yeah, this was the first, a project I really enjoyed working on too. So I did that, and also the website, you can check out the website too. So this was the branding of the project. Then let me go back to my slide. Then the next one I worked on was engage a child. So I had already, you can see the transition for the first UI I did. This is how it looked. I mean, you can see probably was not perfect to the other ones I now did. So you can see there was a huge transitioning and growth. That's the where learning, self-development, study, and being willing to accept feedback came into play. So I mean, there are things I'll do. They'll tell me they can't even read the text. If I'm defensive as a creative person, you say, "What do you mean you cannot read it? What do you mean you cannot read it? Can't you read it? You go and show your friend." No, accept feedback. They cannot read it if they cannot read it. Change it, make it bigger. Don't be too caught up in your own design. So that way I was able to learn and get better. And yeah, this was the new designs that I was now doing for the web. Okay. So even during this time, because I had honed my skills to a large extent, I also got into other freelance projects. This one was for a shoe packaging company. Yeah, Cypher. I wanted to do something different to make people, once they see the shoe on the shoe shelf, they will buy it. And I brought up a brand for guys and a brand for girls. And yeah, it was an interesting project on a freelance note. And yeah, so I had already honed my skills at TPCL. I couldn't do any of this um, before. Okay, so I wasn't this detailed, I wasn't this articulate in presenting my design. So these are all the things I learned how to do through accepting feedback and through studying the resources had available. Okay, so let's go back to the timeline. So this was an important part of my life. That's why I had to talk about it too. So it was mid-2021 and things got really tight. So I couldn't really function effectively as a full-time team member at CPCL. So I had to, step back from heavy operations, have more like freelance attachments to it. Because of, things just happened at that moment. And it was fine. Mr. Philip really understood and he encouraged me to do it, even more than I thought. He encouraged me, gave me all the necessary encouragement, support, and advice. And yes, I wasn't a full-time team member anymore after all the notable projects I worked on. Then I saw a message from him one day. I should check out this opportunity. Does it do I like it and all that? I didn't really know what it was about. I don't even know if Mr. Philip too knew the details of what it was about because it was like the maiden edition by Stanbic IBTC. They hadn't done it before. So I just applied, wrote 2 stages of exam. I got in and it was great. Also, coincidentally, because I had entered the Stanbic IBTC program and started learning, I saw another similar program that was offering the same cloud scholarship. Then I also got into it. So I was running 2 cloud engineering scholarships at the same time. At this point at this point of sending this, my net worth was like 10,000 naira a month. No, 20,000 naira a month, because that was I was getting money from Stanbic IBTC. They were paying us 10K stipend, and School.io, they were paying 10K too for learning. So I had detached from the main TPCL team, so I wasn't on a regular stipend anymore. So this was how I kept on learning 2021. Then 2022, I think things started to break, or light started coming into the tunnel. So because of my performance throughout the program, during the learning stage of the program, I was teaching others because I was also learning at Stanbic IBTC. So I knew more than the people in the second program. So I was teaching them, organizing classes. So the owner of the thing now said he wants to take it to the next level. This was also their maiden edition, the first one I was attending. And they now said they want to now become a company on their own. They got funding to run the maiden edition, but now they wanted to have a team and build that program, not just a program now, as a company. So he now gave me an offer to become a co-founder and also lead the tech team. So no, he gave me an offer to build a website for them. But when I started building it, he saw the way I worked, and I was skilled in a lot of things. I was skilled in graphic design, UI, UX. I knew the Google Suite. I knew coding at that point. So he said there was no other place he would have put me that would have fully utilized my abilities. So he just pushed me to management level and made me like the co-founder and tech lead. Also, in the Stanbic IBTC program, I was invited by the senior staff, like the management, to speak at the second edition alongside Microsoft, people from Microsoft, AWS, and others. So I was almost like the most successful student in the Stanbic IBTC program too. So the Illuminum company I got into earlier, that was, I think I made reference to it when I left the nest. At that time, we didn't even have money. If they told me that they would pay me in shares, I didn't believe them, but I still kept on doing it because in TPCL, we don't really focus on money at the first time. We focus on, that as a plenipotent, during the internship, you focus on value and what you can learn. So I came in to Illuminum. At that time, they didn't have anything. So 2022, they got funded and are now valued at 10 million euros. They put all their engineering staff on salary at that time, and we're getting paid in euros at that time. So, yeah, I also got an offer from Deloitte as a cybersecurity engineer because I had learned cloud engineering at Stanbic IBT. During the interview, they kept on asking, so what did you do at that Stanbic program? What did you do at that? So I was now explaining it. They now said, I hope you're not still with Stanbic IBT. I said, no, the program has ended. But unfortunately, I didn't go with the Deloitte offer. I also got an offer from Access Bank too into their graduate training program too, but I didn't still go with it. Why? These two jobs required me to come to the office. And since 2019, when I graduated from school, I've never come to any office any day for any work because I wasn't used to it. Right from my first role, it was fully virtual, and till today, it's like almost a deal breaker in taking a new opportunity. So the offer from Deloitte was not virtual. I have to come to their office at um at Victoria Island. That's why part of why I said no, that I'm not taking it. Access Bank too, I'm not taking it. So yeah, I was also invited to speak at a Microsoft sponsored event. That's at their towers, Ikoyi, Microsoft Towers at Ikoyi. And everything started looking better. So 2023 was another interesting year because I kept on learning, building myself. So from the Stanbic program too, a senior officer at AWS saw my performance and I was recommended by the team. And I was requested to be featured on their own learning and training and certification portal to show my progress in cloud. Remember, I entered cloud from Stanbic at late 2021, and by 2022, I'm already like an official or like management level in working with cloud services, AWS cloud services. So my story was featured, and I think it's also in publication now. Then I got the offer to be a leading cloud engineer at Talent Up Africa too. So in all these stories that I had to rush through, what did I learn? You can only connect the dots looking backwards. This was a saying in one of our meetings um, in one of our early meetings at TPCL. I think I heard this from Mr. Philip first before I even heard that Steve Jobs said it later on. So to me, it was him that said it. Honestly, I think it was recently this year that I later learned that it was Steve Jobs that also said it. But looking back now, I can connect the dots, and it all traces back to my first role at TPCL. Well, this guy you see here could have had a different career path if I didn't get this offer at first from the Plenipotent Company. So that would be it from me. It's an encouragement to any task you have, do it and do it well. If you're not putting effort into the little things, you will never be able to put effort into the big things. So it is not about money. It is about the impact you can achieve at on any task you are given. Any task you are given, do it to the best of your ability. You don't know where it will lead you in the next 2 years. Thank you so much.
So you have heard from Tochi and you have seen what his experience looked like, how participation in the internship set him up for a very successful career based on the foundation that was laid during his time at the Plenipotent Company. Let me just give you a glimpse of what the system looks like, okay, what our workspace looks like, because this is a virtual program. It's entirely remote. You can join from anywhere and participate from anywhere. So I'm going to share my screen now to show you just what our workspace looks like. You would remember that Tochukwu mentioned that we're using Slack. Now, we don't use Slack anymore. At the point of making this presentation, we use Pumble, but they work, in a similar way. Okay, Slack and Pumble are very similar. They are alternatives. Okay, but this is what it looks like. Okay, you see that we have different channels. Okay, here, for example, you can see the archive, assessment center, you can see project feedback, and we provide detailed feedback, okay, for team members. So it's a capacity development program. You learn a lot, you grow. Okay, look at this here, okay, where, even helping team members. Okay, how do you generate income from your personal website? You can see all of these things here. Okay, direct specific feedback, for each person. So it's a lot of work. That's why we can only take a few people that are ready to commit to the process. Look at, just see, can you see, like, every body has specific feedback for them, and they are learning on the job. And that is the best way to learn. You learn by working on real life projects. That is how to learn. You are working on real life projects. You see Tochukwu's experience. You are working on real life projects and you are learning, you are receiving feedback. That is how to learn. Then look at this also. For example, the team provided feedback and look at the response. Okay, the video production course was an eye-opener for me because I got to know about tools and software. Therefore, there was no way I would have gone on an escapade to produce the video as a first timer. Okay, so the point is you get all of the support, all of the resources that you need. Now, at the end of the day, you actually need a lot of skills. You need to bring a lot of skills together for you to be valuable, for you to be a valuable person, the kind of person that can get any job that you want, the kind of person that can turn down job offers because they don't meet your criteria. Instead of companies turning you down, you are the one now turning companies down, like you saw from Tochukwu's story. Do you understand? But you need a wide range of skills. It's not just one skill. And that is what many people don't understand. You think, well, I want to apply for one role and you just have a narrow range of skills, and you think that, okay, employers should just be running after you. At the end of the day, what we are even looking for is to create a system where you are not at the mercy of any employer. If employers turn you down, the same thing that you would have done for the employer, okay, you can do those things for yourself, make money, make impact from those things. For example, if you want to join a company as a webmaster, just for example, okay, I'm just using that as an example because it's easy, it's an easy example to understand. Now, you want to join a company as a webmaster, you can as well be a webmaster on your own, okay, and you can be making much more than the company will even pay you. But all of those things require you going through the training process, going through the personal development and professional development process, acquiring a wide range of skills that you can bring together to produce the desired results. You heard what he said about the fact that he was confused when he started out. He didn't even know what to do, what to expect, where next to go, and all of the things he did. He mentioned that he couldn't have done all of those things without the foundation that was laid. And now he has people are looking for jobs. He turned down 3 job offers from Deloitte, from Access Bank, from even Stanbic also offered him a role, which he turned down, like 3 major organizations. And at the time of the presentation, he's working with 3 organizations: Talent Up Africa, Illuminem, and then School.io, where he's co-founder. And people are saying that no jobs, no jobs. It's because you don't have the capacity. But many people don't understand that. You don't have the capacity, you cannot really add value. You have not been trained. And most organizations don't have the time, the resources to train entry-level people. So you have to make that commitment, look for an environment that gives you the opportunity to get trained. Okay, then after you have been trained, you are going to have lots of opportunities that you will literally be turning down opportunities, just like you have seen from Tochukwu's experience. Now, the point is that, are you willing to commit to the process like he did? A lot of people just want the company to do everything for them, and we hear a lot of things every time. Okay, people just say a lot of things and you're like, where are you coming from? Because there's this entitlement mindset. Okay, you think like, okay, an employer owes you something. Nobody owes you anything. Everything in this life is a privilege, and you also have to play your own part. So we are going to be investing a lot in in you, okay, over the course of your participation in the internship and subsequently as a member of the team. For the first 6 months alone, the total of what we're investing in terms of executive time, training, resources, support and all of that, it's over 4.8 million naira for each candidate, each person that comes in. So it's an intensive program, and because of that, we're not able to admit many people at once. We have the opportunity open to everybody, okay, and everybody that is ready to invest in the process and to choose themselves, okay, will get on board, but we can only take 12 people for each cohort. So if you are not one of the 12, okay, for your cohort, then you have to wait till the next cohort. So all of those details, the instructions, okay, what are the next steps, how do you make yourself one of the 12, you are going to receive the relevant information in that regard via email after completing the feedback form. If you are ready to invest in the process and you are ready to commit and you know that yes, you are ready to do the work, just like you have seen, that will help you achieve your desired results, then we're happy to welcome you. So complete the feedback form and you are going to receive the next steps. We're looking for people that are ready to learn and grow. The opportunity we're offering is something like going to a gym. When you go to a gym, you pay your fees for using the gym, okay, and then you work yourself out. It's like going to school also. You pay school fees, okay, and then you get trained. But you can also be like a teaching assistant, for example. So if you're a teaching assistant, you get paid, okay, for being a teaching assistant, but you have to pay school fees except you're in a scholarship, okay. So the opportunity we're offering is like that. You have opportunity to win a scholarship, okay, but you also have to invest in the process, and at the end of the day, okay, depending on how you apply yourself, you will grow into your desired role, and you are going to have all of the support that you need to build a rewarding career. So if this looks like something that you want to do, just follow the instructions to complete the feedback form, and we are going to get back to you with the next steps, which is the final stage of the selection process. And remember, like we said before, the ball is in your court. So you are the one that will decide, okay, whether you want to pick yourself, okay, or you want to exclude yourself based on how you respond to the process. So just complete the feedback form and you can expect to hear from us. Thank you and bye for now.